my name is Nick van Dam. I'm a Global Director at Human Capital Practice of Deloitte Consulting. And what I do actually, I'm serving a number of global clients around the world on leadership development, talent management and learning and development actually. And in addition to that, I'm also responsible within Deloitte internally for a number of global learning initiatives. So Alexandra asked me to answer a couple of questions, so let me try to roll here. One is actually related to your environment. I read the question here. To develop the experience required to make judgment calls in high-risk situations. We have growth requirements. That means we have less time than we used to. The question therefore is, how can we speed up the experience curve by supplementing this with simulated experiences? Yeah. So basically, if you look at most organizations have a need for accelerated development. And the question is how to do that. And basically, if you think about your organization, high risk management, etc., there are a lot of insights and best practices from senior people. And if you could record those actually, as simple as in a video as an example, they can be made available, deployed for a lot of other people. So that's one example. Another example is to build online simulations where people go through a number of different scenarios and where they learn based on the experience that your senior people have, what kind of decisions need to be made and what's the best for the company based on real experience and kind of tested knowledge. So that's kind of my answer on the first question. The second question is, in a highly competitive market, which the energy sector is, how do we develop a compelling employee value proposition to prevent client companies paying more to headhunt our staff? A couple of thoughts on that. A lot of research has shown that, and this applies for a lot of people, when they consider another role in another organization, typically they look at a place where they can take their skill sets to the next level. So there's an extremely strong value proposition to provide learning and development experiences for people. And I think that will be, particularly in Europe actually, with an aging workforce, it will be harder to find talent, it will be harder to retain talent, and therefore a number of more and more organizations are really focusing on how they can help their employees to develop their skills. So it needs to be an important part of the talent management initiative in any organization. The third question is, in a rapid growing business where the knowledge resides in the heads of senior fee earners, how do we make the time to invest in knowledge transfer and succession planning? Well, I think that's not that easy. I think in any organization we need to make sure that we develop knowledge, that we make sure that knowledge transfer and developing of people becomes part of the priorities of senior leaders. So basically, best practices are that senior leaders are involved heavily in learning and development programs where they share their experience, they coach people, they mentor people, they help in succession management, identifying the high potentials in the organization. So really get leaders involved in all these different areas. So there's no secret actually to this. It's just a matter of making it part of the culture, reward and recognize people for doing this, and make sure that coaching, mentoring, learning on the job, accelerated development is part of the overall learning equation. So that are the three questions, and good luck with thinking about your own learning and development strategy.
Thank you so much.